Okay, in today's video we are going to talk about how to get started with MasterCAM. If you go to lesson 1, log in from home, student software, final brainstorming, a lot of things in here. The first one is you need to log on to VMware or come to campus and either download or copy this file to your U drive. There isn't a link to it, so you basically have to get this file if you want to download and install it. You could also log on through VMware from home and put it on Dropbox if you have it there, so you can have access to it at home, so you don't necessarily have to come to campus. But somehow you should try to get that installed at home for home use on your laptop or your PC. If you don't want to do that, you can always log into the classroom from home access. This one does install pretty easy. I'll be using it. It is version 2020, so it won't match the book exactly, but it should be close. We're using the book's 2018. And then of course you can always use the login classroom instructions. Go to that link right there and basically log in this way just like you would in class. Okay. Alright, once you I'm gonna go ahead and let it log into here. Try to. Moving really slow. You've probably done this before, but make sure you change it over to student. Okay, and I'm going to change mine to staff, of course, and log in. We'll go back to that in a minute. I did it pretty fast. Autocad Lab. Okay, so what's due the first week is Lab 1, Homework 1, Lab 2, and Lab 3, so quite a bit. Alright, that's due by next Monday, and then Monday we'll start on Lab 4. So this is a 3 credit hour course getting done in 8 weeks, so there's a lot to do. It does go pretty fast once you get the hang of it, but it takes a little bit to get the hang of the software. It's a little tricky. Alright, in Lab 1, it basically tells you upload the files from Lesson 1 in your book, so that's the 2D book, not the 3D. And don't forget to do the 2 drawings on page 28 and 27 and 28. So if you open your book to Lesson 1, the book's a little bit hard to follow sometimes. It basically shows you that you're going to basically create a simple drawing without dimensions. So if you look on page 14, it talks about that, shows you that drawing. On 15, it gives you the drawing with dimensions. You will not have to put a border or dimensions on it. On page 16, it talks about setting up the environment. It tells you you're going to have to create lines in task 2 and save the drawing. Okay, then task 1 is the environment on page 17. So let's do that together. Mine unconnected already, so I downloaded it earlier, so I'm going to open that up right here. Okay, and I did set up some of these already, so I'll just be showing you what to do. First thing is this: set up the environment. So that's in, it says go to set up the grid. It talks about that in the beginning of the book. You can go to that section, or I'll just show you. Helps you identify the origin. And then it says select the machine type of host. Well, we don't have host in there, so we're just going to pick a generic one. Okay, so to set up the origin, you go to File, Configure. Okay, it pops this open. Then you go expand the screen like that. Pick Grid. Okay, and make sure you change this to 1. Yours will probably say 25. Then hit the checkbox. Okay, the next thing you need to do is you need to go to the View screen. Okay, and make sure you pick Show Grid. Okay, and that'll show this grid on here like that. So that's setting up the environment. The next thing you'll want to do is go to the Machine tab, pick Mill, drop down, pick Manage List. So you're setting up the machine you're going to make the toolpath for, or basically that's set up the machine you're going to use. There's not a lot to pick from. HOS would normally be in here. I'll try to add our machines in here. We'll learn how to manually do it together, which is a good thing to learn anyway. So you should have one over there that basically says default MCAD. So this is the default one. If you just pick the default, you would actually get that one too. But I'm going to pick that one and I'll add it over here to the list that I can use. Then I'll pick it up over here in machine definition and hit check mark. Now it's available when I drop down my mill. Okay, which I think it's the same as that one anyway. But so we'll pick C users. Okay, I did it twice, so I have 2 toolpaths here. I want to delete this one. You shouldn't do this. Or let's see if I can delete it. There, it's gone. So yours should look like this. So this keeps track of your toolpaths. It's kind of like a browser in Inventor and SolidWorks. It keeps track of all your machining. You can go back in here and change the machine, change the tools you use, change what tools are on the drawings. We're going to learn how to draw first, and then we'll learn how to machine. I think it's section 2 or 3 we'll learn that. All right. So that's setting up the environment, picking the machine. So task 1 is done. Next thing you want to do is create a series of lines. Well, if you move to page, we're just going to leave the toolpath on because it doesn't really. It talks about turning this off, but which going into the view and unselecting it. I usually just leave it on because you're going to need it most of the time anyway. Okay, it tells on page 18 basically the absolute numbers of the thing you're drawing. So starting from 0, 0 on the origin and going over. Page 19 talks about drawing the first item. Okay, so drawing the first item, to create the first line, you just kind of follow through it, and it's from 19 all the way until the end. So it says go to wireframe, of course, pick line with endpoints, and then basically start drawing this in and follow the instructions all the way through. Keep going until you get all the way through page 24. Okay, and make sure you save it and upload it, and then also page 26, and then don't forget to do the items on page 27 and 28. Okay, when you get that done, you can go straight into mill lesson 2 and do the same thing all over again. Okay, and you get that done, go into mill lesson 3. I'll try to get some videos posted on, and so you don't have to read so much, but you can just follow through the instructions and do the whole class with that too. Okay, Monday we'll go through, so if you have any problems, make sure you bring them. But by Monday you should have lessons 1, 2, and 3 done, and the examples. All right. So basically you should have Lab 1, Homework 1, Lab 2, and Lab 3 done by Monday class. Email me if you have any questions.